So I've been like sick for the past week. I mean, I don't know if it's sick or allergies, doesn't really matter. Point is, I'm like snotting a lot, got a lot of discharge going on, and I should probably just go ahead and like blow my nose, but I don't want to because I'm getting irritation, specifically in this nostril. And so I'm just trying to hold off as long as possible with the blowing of the nose. So point is, if I'm sniffing a lot, that's why. Sorry. None of this has anything to do with what we are making today. We are making a coffee soap. It's a lemon lavender blend, and it's an ombre and a gradient. It's actually both. So I am right to call this one an ombrient. And I will tell you more about this bar and why it gets to be an ombrient in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things. And you are here for day 268 of 365 days of soap. And today, as I said, we're doing an ombrient. It's going to start out purple, and that purple is going to go dark to light, and then it's going to start out light yellow, and it's going to go light yellow to dark yellow. It's an ombrient. It's both. Yes, very exciting. And it's also made out of coffee, and a very strong coffee. So the batter starts out super duper dark. So let's get to the video, and we will talk more about the pour, and also more about the things we were discussing yesterday as far as what you can and cannot say about coffee. And I think I'm in the mood to just do a breakdown about what's even in coffee. Because why not? That's where my brain is today. So let's go there and we'll talk all about it. Okay, so first up, this pour is going to be so much fun. It is a lemon and lavender blend. And it will be a dark purple starting out, which will gradually get lighter purple. And then kind of halfway up the bar, it's going to turn yellow. And the remainder of it will be different stages and colors of yellow. And, or saturations of yellow. Whatever. You guys know me well enough by now to know not to discuss color theory with me. Okay? So... And, little lavender buds on top, and all made with coffee. And so, as you can see, it all starts out kind of dark. But as we talked about yesterday, dark in color, not dark like, macabre or something. It's not creepy. It's just dark in color. But as we talked about yesterday, it does lighten up based on the oils that you're using, as well as, the other things that you can put in to ensure that it doesn't stay that dark. And as you can see, as we're actually getting it to emulsion, it's getting dark, or it's getting lighter and lighter. So, as we also talked about yesterday, the coffee soaps can actually take a little bit longer to hit trays, especially when you are using it at a 100% water substitution. So there's that. Now, while we are mixing up these colors, and for the colors, I used Mad Micah's Grape Knee High for the purple, and it will start out the darkest it possibly can, and then I will add kaolin clay dispersed in water to it as I continue the pour to make it lighter until all of my purple is gone. And for the yellow, I don't know what I used. I'm going to say bright yellow raincoat. I think that's what it was. So, and I think it's the same or maybe the opposite with that. I think maybe it starts light and then gets darker yellow at the top of the bar. We will find out in the pour. So it's going to be a very fun pour, for sure. Again, lavender lemon blend, still made with coffee because this is for one of my coffee shops, my wholesale accounts. So I want to make sure that there's coffee represented in all of their soaps, even if they're not these soaps. This particular, design does not look exactly like coffee. And by exactly like, I mean it looks nothing like coffee. Like not even that weird unicorn frappuccino thing that Starbucks put out that one time. Doesn't even look like that. This is just, it's a lemon lavender bar. But actually the client did send me a picture of another soap and specifically wanted this. And so this is what we're going to do. Or, my spin on it, at least. Okay, so while we are pouring this, let's talk about coffee and what is in coffee and what, imparts into our soap, which is an interesting question in and of itself. I mean, obviously, coffee is mostly water, right? We're familiar with how coffee is brewed. And then the main thing that you think of when you think coffee is caffeine, which is also true. And caffeine topically can be great. It can tighten the skin. It can help out with, well, not hydration, with the suppleness of the skin, with the elasticity of the skin. It can also help out with, skin tightening. What else? What have I lost here? It'll come to me. So we know that caffeine does have a skin benefit if applied topically, usually in a leave-on. So let's keep that in mind. Soap is not a leave-on. It's on your skin for not very long. So what else does coffee have in it? Well, it also has quite a fair amount of tannins, and tannins can be very excellent for, well, obviously for our purposes, because we're making soap. That's what really is helping that bubble. Confirmed. That's what it is. I did some research. But also there's lots of antioxidants as well. And so we are dealing with it being a sort of antibacterial, antioxidant rich, substance to put onto your skin, coffee, because it fights free radicals. Therefore, it can help with sun damage, and it can balance the skin's pH, and which can lead to, a decrease in acne and all of the things. Coffee also contains a fair amount of proteins, which are very good for the skin, again, topically, and the hydration and the plumping factor of, skin. So, yeah, all around, coffee topically, technically speaking, does have some skin benefits. And you can find lots of information online about that from, actual medical-based sites. And so it's very interesting and cool for, again, topical use for leave-on products, which, again, you can find at Mayo Clinic, you can find at Cleveland Clinic, you can find at all the .orgs that topically caffeine is good, or products that contain caffeine as leave-ons. Here are the benefits, whatever. It's been researched, it's been peer-reviewed, all the jazz. But we are messing with soap, and as soap makers, we can't make like drug claims. We can make cosmetic claims. We just got to make sure that our labels, our labels are done accordingly. But for making a drug claim, like going back to what I was saying yesterday about the number of sites that are saying things like, oh yeah, coffee soap will cure eczema or psoriasis or acne. You can't say that. And also, it's not really been researched enough to determine whether or not that's even true. And logically, if you think about it, whether or not it's true, like if coffee contains those things, is a little bit irrelevant, because again, we have to go back to the aforementioned soap is a rinse-off product. It is not on your skin for a ton of time. And one of the ways that leave-on products work so well is because they're formulated to ensure that the specific ingredients, say a caffeine or an antioxidant or vitamin B3 or niacin, all things that exist in coffee, are suspended in its solution and dispersed onto the skin in such a way that it's actually going to, break that skin barrier and, do its cool free radical fighting and all of the fighting awesomeness. And you're not going to get that with the amount of time that coffee is on your skin. Now, coffee grounds as an exfoliant. Just by nature of being an exfoliant, it's going to promote circulation and, help slough off dead skin cells or whatever, because you're doing a mechanical, actual friction, thing to your skin. So, yeah, sure, but coffee in and of itself in a soap, obviously, first, I would never make the claim because I don't want to start making drug claims. But second, I still wouldn't, in good conscience, actually say that, because in good conscience, my logic is it's not on the skin long enough. So I've had lots of people actually ask, and that's another thing. We are not only dealing with, here's coffee and here's what's inside of it, but what survives saponification? Because interestingly, like the thing like niacin, for example, in coffee, that's not just something that's really naturally occurring within coffee. It's part of the chemical reaction once you heat coffee to over 160 degrees, once you heat your raw, your coffee beans or grounds. And the end result of that chemical reaction is niacin. Much like in here, another chemical reaction, saponification, yielding a soap. You got your fatty acids and your water and your lye, and you chemically reacts, and we have a soap. So I don't, much to that, I don't know exactly what gets lost in the soap itself when saponification is occurring, because that it's going to be that exothermic reaction that could really make or break the actual volatility of something like a caffeine or niacin, because whatever. So I think the best thing that you could do for your, self and your business, if you're making coffee soaps, is again, talk about the lather and the moisturizing properties of the oils. And if you really want to talk about how cool coffee is, have a link on your website that says, these are the benefits of coffee. But I don't think it's a good idea to say that those are the benefits that occur in soap, because we have not done enough research on that in that field to even know that, even if we could claim it. Okay, so now, with all that said, the question probably is, why even bother putting coffee in your soaps then? If it doesn't do anything cool, why bother? Well, it does do something cool in that it makes the lather really awesome. And I like really awesome lather. So that's fun. And it's very good. It's a very good addition to put into a recipe for someone. Oh, look how pretty. A recipe for someone that does have sensitive skin, just because of the, extra vitamins and antioxidants and stuff. You're not hurting anything with that. You're not going to exacerbate any conditions. And so it's a good additive to include for, sensitive skin type things, for sure. But aside from, just talking about the lather and that it does cool things to that, I don't know that we can responsibly actually say that. Legally we can't, but also literally it hasn't been studied enough. And, that might not be the case next year or 5 years or 10 years from now. But as it stands now, I think coffee in soap is going to be first and foremost for label appeal, because maybe you love coffee so very much, or maybe you have a large percentage of your population, of your, user base that loves coffee. You live in a coffee area. Fine, cool, awesome. But also, it's the lather properties for me, dog. Like, it's a very, very good lather. And nobody that uses a coffee soap will ever be like, oh God, that was just such a boring experience. Creates a very nice bar soap. Now, if you want to start playing with, coffee topically, or the, chemical compounds that are within coffee, topically, well, then you have to start going to your leave-ons for that. You have to start going to your face serums, your lotions, your lotion bars, all of that jazz, because as we've talked about a lot, coffee doesn't super stay on your skin for a long time. So if you're looking to really improve someone's life in that route, go to leave-on products for sure. But for soaps, I mean, use coffee anyway, because it's a lot of fun to work with. And again, it's great label appeal. Whether you subscribe to any of the rest of it, it's really good for label appeal. And again, that lather is amazing. I mean, you didn't see the lather, but you've seen my other lather coffee videos. That's day 268. See? Ombrient. Totally. That's what that is. I'm going to do all the bars like that from now on. So it goes darker to lighter, like in saturation or whatever, and it goes from one color to another. Because that was always my confusion. Because all of the ones that I do that just ends up being just lighter stages of like orange or yellow or whatever, it still starts out white. So technically speaking, isn't that also an ombre? Because it shifts from white to yellow or white to orange or whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter because I've now made an ombrient and it's awesome. It's super fun. It smells amazing. This lemon lavender blend is delightful. I actually just used a straight lavender from Sierra Candles and their lemon verbena to make this blend. And it's so good. So good. Speaking of the lemon verbena, it's getting its day in the sun in just a couple days because on its own, it smells like Trix candy or cereal. What's the difference? It smells like Trix cereal. And it's absolutely awesome. So we're going to be playing around with that one in the next few days. So if you're interested in seeing that, subscribe. That would be cool. For those of you who have subscribed, hey, you're cool. Thank you so much for having done so. My sudsers are awesome, and you will never stop being awesome, and that is a fact. And that's everything that keeps me going and motivated to continue posting the videos and doing the things. So thank you. I appreciate you. I am out of here for 2 days, though. I should actually finally go blow my nose because it's getting to it's just going to all start coming out and nobody needs to see that. But I will see you all again tomorrow for another round of Soapy Fun. Bye.